Hi there, it's me, Annalisa Boyd, Orthodox Christian wife, mom to nearly 10, and the author of The Ascetic Lives of Mothers Hear Me, Special Agents of Christ, and creator of saintsbox.com. All right, so today I wanted to talk about infant baptism. Why? Why would I talk about infant baptism? Well, because the subject has been coming up a lot. So I thought, hey, let's talk about that. So I just wanted to talk about my perspective. I'm not going to go into church history and any of that stuff. I just wanted to give an example of the kind of the thinking behind it. And yeah. Sorry, I'm in a parking lot looking like a crazy person holding my phone. But there you go. When you have the time, that's when you do it, right? Okay, so there is a person that I'm acquainted with on Facebook, and I think one of the things that she's looking into Orthodoxy, and one of the things that she questions is infant baptism and icons. I felt the same way 16 years ago. It was the infant baptism part was really hard. And I don't even know why, because when we were becoming Orthodox, all of my kids were old enough to, have asked Jesus into their hearts, and they were old enough to have chosen to be baptized if they wanted to be baptized, and two of mine had already. But I had an opportunity to do a little interview. Apparently, Hear Me has been published in Russia, which is very exciting. And so somebody from Russia contacted me for an interview. And one of the questions was about infant baptism, and wasn't that taking away a child's right to choose, kind of, or have religion forced upon them? And I don't know if the interviewer had that belief, but maybe that's what people are saying about infant baptism there. I know it's definitely what people say about infant baptism here. So, but it has come up a number of times lately, so I thought, hey, here's the answer I gave. So, when I think about infant baptism, I think of it as, something sacred that we give our children that is good for their souls, in the same way that we give them good food. Now, they may grow up and be junk food junkies and eat Oreo cookies every day and only fast food and, clog their arteries with horrible things. That may be a choice that they make when they grow up. But that does not mean that when they're small, that I'm going to neglect giving them the most nutritious food that I can. I'm not going to just let my 2-year-old or 3-year-old or 4-year-old or 10-year-old choose to eat whatever they want, because 9 out of 10 times it's going to be like chicken nuggets and Pop-Tarts, and that's not going to be good for their bodies, and I know that. And because I know that, I try to start them with a very good nutritional foundation. And that's just for our body here. So if eternity is what we're looking at, how much more important is that foundation that we provide for our youngest little people? That is vastly more important. I almost said importanter. Vastly importanter than the food that we are eating. Our bodies are a temple, absolutely, and that is why we try to do the best we can with what we have to provide the best food for our children, for our babies. And somehow we're going to dump that when it comes to the eternal. That doesn't make any sense. Our children may still grow up and walk away from Christ, but that is part of that foundation. that we are providing for them with faith and love, that is what we are doing for our children. So aside from the tradition and the places where we can see in the Bible where households were baptized, and okay, it doesn't say and an infant happened to be there, but it also doesn't say and a senile old man happened to be there. We don't know who was there. It was the household. Men, women, children, men servants, women maid servants, women servants, whatever. But, you know, there are all those examples. There is the tradition of the church. But just thinking logically, I mean, how many of our kids would choose to go to school, for example, if they weren't required to do school, whether they're homeschooled? I mean, homeschooled people, we know there are, the challenge of educating our children doesn't go away because we keep them home. It's hard to get them out of bed sometimes or get them on board, but we know what is good for them. And we are giving them the best that we can that is good for them, for their bodies, for their minds, but especially for their souls. So there you go. That's just my thought for the week. Let's keep on working at our salvation one mama moment at a time. Thanks.